Welcome back to another episode of Stay on Target, where we're going to review episode 13 of Andor. Spark. Man, was that a good episode. Please stay tuned for that. We're going to do non-spoilers and then spoilers. If you haven't seen it yet, you can stick around. Don't even matter. Don't even matter. With me today, I have some...
cool cats.
Cool, yeah.
Cool loth cats.
Rebel rousers.
Rabble rousers.
With me, I got Nick. Hambone. It'll save your life one day.
Got it.
If you understand that reference,
Hambone.
you are a true
I
hero.
finally got a reference that you made.
Yeah.
Matt understood it. You're Captain America. I just realized it's Captain Matt.
Captain Matt. Wait, why
I
is he
understood that
Captain Matt?
reference. That's the classic Captain America
yeah,
line.
yeah,
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
But you never knew the references because he was gone for like 50 years.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I understood that reference.
See,
Got that
he
one.
made a reference that we understood, and then he referenced that. And we did not.
And we lost it.
And you lost the
And
reference.
you
You
lost
got
us.
me,
Oh,
and then
my
you
God.
let me go.
Wow.
I'm
It's
hanging
like
over the edge.
Catch
like
and
a-
release.
Grab
Catch
my
and
hand.
release, yeah.
You grab my hand. I'm like, oh, cool. And then you let me go.
I forgot to say
saved.
the tagline of the show. It's Star Wars. Or no.
Star Wars. That it is.
No,
That's not the one.
It's right there.
Wow.
Star Wars.
Swinging out the gate.
All right.
No, it's Stay on Target, where we do everything but.
Yeah.
No, we do Stay on Target occasionally.
Occasionally.
But usually you're just here for the banter and fun and wittiness.
Yeah.
And Matt.
Hmm.
And also with us, steering the ship, keeping things going. He is the mastermind behind it all. It is Dan.
Keeping things interesting up here at the
Keeping
front.
things afloat.
I lost all the references.
Yeah.
You understood all references.
I understood all the references.
Should we name them? No, they got to figure
Nah,
it
you
out.
gotta figure
If
it
you
out.
can put those in the comments, we will give you a Wookiee cookie.
Yeah.
All
not
I
real,
do
but
is
you can say you got
smile and
No,
wave.
It's
kids.
bragging right.
Smile and
Smile
wave.
and wave.
We need to
boys.
come out. No, we
Smile
should.
and wave. That's another
Oh,
reference.
sorry. I
Another
didn't
one.
do it with you guys. Smile
Yeah.
and wave. Boy. Actually, that's perfect. That's the 4 penguins
done.
of Madagascar we are.
Dude,
You
you're not
gave it
supposed to give
away the reference.
references. Ah, come on, man.
Oh, man.
You broke your own rule.
I broke my own dang. Well, that's a freebie. They get a freebie.
That's a freebie.
No. If they do, we should have like some sort of digital content we could send these people, like a digital Wookiee cookie,
Like
handshake.
NFTs?
like an NFT Wookiee cookie. We could
Except
send
for it's
them.
worth
Don't even-
nothing.
don't
and
even-
you will,
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe one day. What?
It's worth nothing, and what was that?
I don't know. I'm
And
just trying to
everything.
figure out something else to
And
say,
it-
like a punchline
and it
to make
doesn't
it,
matter.
But I couldn't.
It's whose line is it anyway?
We actually, you pay us to get those NFTs.
So they get. Wait, no.
Wait, that's how it works. No, but you don't understand. They keep paying us.
They keep paying us. So we give them a
Monthly.
single Wookiee cookie, and they pay us
Yeah.
weekly for that.
We pay them.
weekly.
No, how does that?
Is
no,
it an
that wouldn't
NFT?
work. Yeah.
We should figure this out.
It's
We're
a
gonna
you
figure
get
it out.
useless NFT, but sure.
You get it. Like the more you buy, the more expensive it is, right? Is that how that works? I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Something
The
of
NFTs?
sort.
Like that's how the
I've never
price
looked
goes up and
into
down.
it. So.
I have no idea.
Like whenever you sell them, then the price goes down because reasons.
Thanks for tuning in to Stay on Target.
Oh, man.
Wow, we're only a minute in. It feels like an eternity.
Oh man.
Classic.
Yeah, so what'd you guys think about Andor episode 13?
There is no episode 13. You
I
can't be leading
know.
them on like that.
We're totally leading them on. They're
Yeah.
gonna be like, "What?"
Wouldn't-
Disney's freaking out right now. They're like, "How did
They're
they
like,
see that?"
they freak out so much they actually release episode 13. Like, we weren't supposed to do this, but
in
they already
that
watched it.
short
We're-
2-minute span.
Right.
Small YouTube channel triggers Disney into releasing episodes early.
These guys are onto something.
How are they so on the pulse of
Right.
Star Wars?
They actually have to change the title 'cause
Right,
it was
yeah.
actually Spark.
Yeah. Spark of the Rebellion.
Spark of the Rebellion.
Yeah.
That's what they should have named the show.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, we haven't seen that obviously because I don't even think they started filming yet. They've talked
I thought
about
it was like last
or they
week
did
they started
actually start filming, but they definitely wouldn't have a show season 1
I mean,
or episode 1 done.
How long do you think it takes to film an entire
At
season
least
of
3
Andor?
At
days.
least
At least
a week.
That's why everybody looks so disheveled by the
Disheveled.
end of the season.
Because they're
Pale and
Because they're just
sprinting.
like,
they literally don't
honestly,
sleep for like
yeah. Honestly, most of these shots they just CGI'd their eyes open because they were all.
zonked out.
They're more of
100 That's how good CGI's got. It's 100%
Yeah.
CGI. But we don't even realize
Oh,
it.
gosh.
That's how Andor looks so good because
Yeah.
it's seamless.
It's literally just him being CGI'd.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, but we are going to get into some of our thoughts, overall thoughts. We've had a week to let it marinate.
Yeah.
marinade.
Just like
marinate.
Thanksgiving.
Percolate.
Did it marinate on that Thanksgiving turkey on Mon Mothma's table?
Oh, we
Yeah.
did. I
Mon
like
Mothma
how that video.
Thanksgiving?
That video was good, man. I listened to it for a long time. It was Thanksgiving.
It was Thanksgiving. He
No, it's
literally
really good.
played it in the background at his Thanksgiving.
I did.
That's
It was
right.
fun. I
I
enjoyed
can't
it.
say that I did.
Thanks
I
everybody for
watched.
watching that video. If you haven't seen it yet, go and watch it or just listen to it. It's
Yeah.
it's a cool.
You don't even have
it's a
to
cool
watch
vid,
it.
yo.
You don't even.
It's
you
a
don't even have to
listener.
listen to it.
It's a podcast.
You can either watch it, don't listen, or listen and don't watch it.
That's right.
Either or.
Your choice.
If you do both, you're
Dedication.
special.
You get a Wookiee cookie.
Dedication.
Dedication.
You are dedicated.
We've been talking about these Wookiee cookies for like 3 years. We really
Dude, we
need
actually
to come
need
out
to
with something.
start making them, or
It's
like
gonna
make a
be.
merchandise
Yeah.
around it.
You get a Wookiee
T-shirt
cookie. You get
with
a
a
Wookiee
Wookiee cookie on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
we're gonna give you a Wookiee cookie.
It's merch.
T-shirt.
in the form of
But
a
that's
T-shirt.
the joke. Nobody ever actually gets a Wookiee
Yeah.
cookie.
Well,
I don't know.
It's not
All right.
existent.
We're gonna give you a Wookiee cookie once we make them.
That's the tagline.
Read the fine print.
Oh man.
Read the fine print.
No,
Not
but
actually planning on making them. That's the joke.
The joke's
let's keep
on
it going.
you.
How much longer can we?
All right.
Wookiee cookies.
Wookiee cookies. Let me
We're
tell you.
trying to stall for time
Yeah.
here.
I don't know why. We're already 4 minutes in. It feels like an eternity.
Stop saying this time. Oh, that's hilarious. All right. Anytime we get like something new on the screen, we have to like point it out.
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, can you guys see
In
it?
case you guys can't see it, it
All
should
right.
be on this side of your screen right here.
They can't see it.
But
Only-
actually, it's on this side of my screen.
Nope.
because we're reversed. We're in the mirror dimension.
So, Dustin,
We're not real. Dan, save us.
was Andor season
sinking.
1 the best Star Wars you've ever seen?
No.
Oh,
And that's it. That's our show, folks.
squash.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll say. It's
Was
not-
it the best Star Wars you've ever seen since Disney Plus took it over? Or Disney? The
It's,
best,
it's,
yeah, the
I-
best
it's,
Disney.
it's hard to say the best, but it
It's a tough
is up
second.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably top 3.
I'd
sure.
say it's the best Star Wars show I've seen.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
It's right up there with
Mando. That's kind of the tricky thing. I think.
Right.
Mandalorian.
I think-
Mandalorian.
I actually
That's what
think
we're
some of the best Star Wars that's come out yet with anything Disney's done is Mandalorian and Boba Fett.
What?
That episode?
Did you say Boba Fett?
You mean
Inside of
Mandalorian?
You
Boba
mean
Fett.
No,
the
inside.
You mean the Mandalorian?
That's what I'm saying.
episode.
The Mandalorian
Oh,
episode
oh,
inside of
oh,
Boba
okay.
Fett.
Yeah.
That was one
I
of
was gonna
the
say
best.
we
Wasn't
we're gonna
picking
have to
up what you were
execute him
laying down.
after the
That
show.
was one of the best Star Wars. Like
Yeah. Well, and
other than Luke coming back in episode 1 or season 1. You didn't like CGI, but
I mean, no, it was good, but you
Ish.
should have just got Sebastian Stan to do it. That's all
yeah,
I'm saying.
agreed. They should.
It
do
would have been
Sebastian Stan.
prime for me.
They were touching on the nostalgia though. I understood why they did it
I understood
because they
that.
actually had
but
Mark Hamill back.
come on, man. Like he's 90 years old. He needs to retire.
90 years old.
I know.
No,
I mean,
wow.
I know that sounds sacrilegious that I'm saying he needs to retire, but like, give it to somebody else. One that actually looks like a young Luke.
Give the iconic role of your lifetime to somebody else. I mean,
Well, when you put it that way.
What is he? Is he dying?
no. I mean, well, aren't we all?
That's true. One
Slowly
day,
but
we're all
surely.
one day closer to death, people.
You know, I heard. What was it? Was you told me about it? Was like,
Was you talking to
what did you told about it? No, but what if air is actually the thing that's killing us? That we're actually all like air is poisonous.
Oh, but it's
But
like
it slowly
it's
kills you
slowly-
after
it
80
just
years.
slowly kills.
Well, that's
you
like
over a
water.
certain amount of time.
You seen what water does to metal over a long period of time?
Yeah,
Rust. Imagine what
Rust.
it's doing to our bodies.
rusty spoons.
Well, we're not made of metal.
Yeah, well, that
Aren't we, though?
speak for yourself.
I am Iron Man.
I understood that reference.
I understood that reference.
So, Dustin,
Guess that one.
Yeah.
was Andor the best TV show
Yes.
of
I
the
think it's-
year?
If
Oh,
the year, yes, definitely.
Well, yeah, I
TV
haven't
show or
watched-
Star Wars TV show?
Star Wars
Yeah,
TV show
okay.
or
Yeah,
TV.
okay.
Although I don't really know if I've watched a new TV show this year.
I haven't
So,
either, so I can't really compare it to anything.
Yeah,
Best
I
Star
started-
Wars TV show? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Hands down, beat out Obi-Wan and Boba Fett. Even with
Smack
that
'em.
Just
Mandalorian episode
smack
in there, it could not save that series.
No, like
They literally brought
it-
in season 3. Like I think it was like episode 1,
Yeah.
season 3,
that's what it was supposed
and
to
they
be.
just
yeah.
interjected it because it was doing so horribly.
Yeah. You know, I wonder if they actually like made episodes other than those, the Mandalorian episodes that they
Right.
put in Boba Fett, and then they realized how bad it was doing, so they just swapped them out.
Yeah, I wonder if like Boba
wouldn't
Fett was going to
surprise
be in
me.
season 3 and they got rid of him because
Right.
Boba Fett was so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. When Boba Fett was in Mando, he was way better. He was way cooler.
Yeah.
because he owned. But I'd say yes. Agreed. What did you think, Dan?
No, I think by far Andor was the best of the year. I think it was also the best TV show that I watched. I didn't watch a ton of other TV shows. We did watch the Lord of the Rings show, and we watched.
bad.
I'm trying to think. We didn't watch a ton of other shows.
Yeah, I know. I haven't watched a ton. I'm trying to remember. Nothing's really standing out
Yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah, we're not that cool.
Definitely
people,
watch
but-
shows, just not new this year. So
Right.
Right. That's kind of a
Same.
challenging thing.
But I mean, week to week, it was it kept me coming back for more anyway.
This
But
show,
obviously,
yeah.
we're a Star Wars fan, but just even from if it like satisfied this Star Wars fandom, like sci-fi people, you know, which I like all that stuff. So
Right.
and just great storytelling, great acting. You want to see high quality content? That's all anybody wants to see. I think that's why we reviewed 1917 and these other movies that were really well made.
Yeah.
This
very
was
well
on
made.
par with like just any well-made content that you want to watch, and to see it on Disney Plus week in and week out was quite a treat.
Right.
Yeah. I'd say it's definitely the best written Star Wars
Mm-hmm.
that's come out. Like it's the most intellectual. It has the best through line that keeps you coming back for more. The
Right.
most intrigue of a lot of Star Wars, other than I'd say again Mandalorian. That's why it's hard for me to say over Mandalorian because Mandalorian is so Star Wars for its like
Right.
epic scale. Maybe not epic scale, but like the forces in it. You know, there's blasters, there's Mandalorians, there's weapons. It's lots of action. It's bigger Star Wars.
Yeah.
This is like spy Star Wars,
Well,
but gives it something different.
I think the draw to it too was it was its own thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't relying on like all the established Star Wars characters that we know and love today. It was like, oh, this is a completely new story set in the Star Wars universe. And then we were like, oh, okay. Hesitant, but it was really good. It paid off.
Yeah. I for me, I guess even marinating on it for a week, and then we'll get Matt and Dan's take a little bit more. But the finale left me wanting a little bit more.
Yeah.
I will say it didn't necessarily end on a like I wasn't blown away by the ending.
Like
Not that I
aha
needed to
moment.
be, but for how intelligent and how good the rest of the series was, like especially the prison sequence and all that, I'd say that's one of the biggest highlights I think of that show.
Yeah,
It's like
the prison sequence.
the prison sequence. I mean, there was other really great moments,
Mhm.
but I really liked that. And Andy Serkis's character, and when
Right.
they got out, it was so satisfying.
Yeah.
Like that's
There was a
that's
good
why that
it
was the
a
best
payoff.
Yeah, there was
Some
a
of them, yeah,
fantastic
got out.
payoff.
Yeah.
There's a few loose ends though that I didn't love. Obviously Luthen is fantastic. I would almost just want a Luthen show.
Yeah.
Because he just every time he's in it, he just delivers.
Yeah.
Everything's fantastic that he says. But I think season 2 could be the best Star Wars that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think if they get somebody else a little bit more involved, like Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau come in
Yeah.
there and help out a little
Both
bit.
of them.
But get Dave Filoni, like have Tony Gilroy, write it with the way he wrote it before, but get some more Star Wars flair in there. Like I think
Yeah.
season 2 is gonna not need, and that's what's good about season 1. But I think it could use a little bit more Star Wars characters that we know and love.
Yep.
Not that you absolutely have to, but I think the natural progression is things are getting bigger. Like we're gonna have to start seeing like this is more of a
Right.
serious threat to the Empire
Mhm.
in season 2. So we're gonna need to start seeing some big hitters coming in.
Yep. Like they're getting the rebellion ready.
Exactly.
The band's all here.
Yeah, and that's why I think. But I just didn't like some of the through lines of the show. Was
Yeah.
like the sister thing kind of annoyed me because it was kind of like just a one off.
It was a throwaway.
It was
you
kinda
think
throwaway.
they're gonna?
It just didn't have any payoff. But again, season 2 could fix a lot of these things.
You think
So,
they're gonna explore it in season 2?
I hope so. I mean,
Right.
why did
He
we
actually
have that?
does have a sister.
Because I
and
just
she's
thought I
still
was thinking
alive.
about it. And I was like, why did we have that whole sequence of showing them on that planet?
Yeah.
Where he came from. If that amounted to nothing in the end,
Right.
unless
Well, it had to kickstart the rebellion. Because if he didn't kill those guards, it would have never happened.
no,
They would have
well,
never
right.
launched the manhunt for him.
I know, but it just felt like it felt like you didn't even need that though. Like that
No.
could have been anything else.
Yeah.
Like that could have just been like he was going to get a part, and like it went south and he had to kill those guys or something like that. I know they were trying to bring in a little more personal aspect with his sister, but don't have the sister just be a throwaway
Right.
item in the
Well,
show.
yeah, and we don't get any more flashbacks after that episode, so
Right. So I don't know.
I wonder if it really is a throwaway or if they're
it
just
might
like,
not be.
People are going to forget about it, and then we're going to reintroduce it in season 2.
Right. There was just a few things in there that I kind of wanted some payoffs to that I didn't get, but that's it's a minor grievance because the show was so well written
Yeah.
and things did make a lot of sense. I guess I wanted the ending to be a little bit bigger with the whole like
A
revolution
little
thing.
more action.
Yeah. But I mean, it's still
Actually
solid.
Picking up blasters and shooting stormtroopers.
There's some like funniest moments in this with like Cyril and like the
Zero
I love so
yeah, I know
much.
that.
Right.
It
But,
sounds like around the world, everybody wanted them to kiss.
right? Yeah.
yeah.
Is that a spoiler?
Honestly, I think every time he sees her now, he's just going to be like, Cyril Karn. Just so she
Cyril
doesn't
Karn.
forget him.
Yeah,
And almost every time we saw him, he was eating cereal, which is
Right.
hilarious.
it's
I
perfect.
love that. And I love episode 12 he didn't.
It's too real.
He should have
He's too busy.
That was one of the funniest scenes of that whole show, though, was the when they switched hats.
Yeah.
What was the purpose of
I
that?
don't know.
Yeah,
It was
I really
just
don't
funny.
know.
Like
It
I
was.
Think, I think the people that made the show were like, "This is hilarious. We just need to
Right.
put it in here."
I watched that scene again, and like, from an acting standpoint, it looked like they were both just trying to not laugh.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like,
Yeah.
they're like, hey, let's do something funny.
Yeah, it was almost like it was an outtake, and they just left
put
it
it in there
because
it
we're
was
like,
wholesome.
this is funny because
Yeah.
at least they show emotion, or maybe they are like bros, like when they were together, like, oh man, how's it going? You know,
Right.
Yeah, we got to
It's-
switch hats. 'cause
That's
what
something we
bros
used to do, bro.
I swear Cyril to me is like is grown on me as a character in the show. in a weird way because he's a weird
Right.
person.
Yeah.
But he started off so like way passionate about taking out Andor.
Mhm.
He
Yeah,
just
well-
kind of fell off the bandwagon.
Well, he has something to prove,
Yeah. It's
But-
like
and he keeps getting chopped down
Yeah,
down.
exactly.
Like a tree.
like a tree,
like a tree. Yeah,
like
he,
But-
a rock.
he was
All right.
just that was just such an interesting addition. Like him and his mom are like
Yeah,
the outliers of the show. Like so weird, but
but it's hilarious.
it's hilarious at the same time. It's like a sitcom
Yeah.
in Star Wars. And then a love story in Star Wars again that we haven't seen. And that's why even though it's the weirdest one
Yeah,
that we've had in Star Wars, people are enjoying it because at least there's a love story in Star Wars.
right.
Other than the
Yeah, you know.
other thing.
We all know.
Nobody cared about.
Yeah, and it was just
Yeah.
The other one was forced.
Try
And it just
hard.
felt unnatural, and I did not enjoy that.
Completely unnatural, yeah.
It was weird. And I think it took away, honestly, from
Yep.
Star Wars. Don't push politics into Star Wars like that.
Yeah.
It takes people out.
takes
Buddy.
people out.
Matt,
Like a sniper
rifle.
what'd you
Matt.
think overall of the season?
Matt was,
Would you guys rate that higher than Mando?
I love how you always ask him questions and you immediately cut him off
I'm
when
so
he starts
sorry.
talking.
I'm so sorry. I think of something else that I'm going to pitch, and then
Felt
go ahead, Matt. What were you
unnatural
saying?
well,
Not enjoy that.
Completely
Well.
unnatural, yeah.
Get
I
ready.
was honestly thinking about episode 12 and what happened the entire time you were talking. I was trying to figure out what was happening. And I do agree. I do agree that it did not end as good as it could have
Yeah.
with a bang.
Bang.
I probably wouldn't have racked my brain trying to remember how it ended so
Right.
much while you were talking if that were the case.
If it was like gun ho,
A
like
stellar-
crazy ending, like
If it was
all
more
the pieces
memorable,
came
we'd be
together
like, oh,
and
man.
everybody died or
Yeah.
like something crazy
well, I
happened.
don't know about death, but
Well,
But death
Torture,
is,
though.
torture
you
though.
know?
Am I
Torture.
right? If you've been a long time listener, you'll understand that reference.
Long
Long time.
a
That was
month
like
or two.
literally 2 weeks ago.
A long time listener is a couple
What do
weeks.
you think our main listening base is just flies and they only last like a day?
No,
Hey man, if you've been around for more than a
It's-
day, you're a long time
it's
listener.
I've seen
lawnmowers.
this
Is
one.
what it is.
Lawnmower workers.
People lawnmower
workers,
Lawnmower
in
operators
Japan, right, Dan?
Yeah,
definitely in Japan,
Japan.
because it's
They're like,
12
"Oh,
hours
man,
ahead
this
there.
stuff, I don't know about America, but these guys are funny.
They
yeah,
are
we do
already
really
mowing
well
the grass.
everywhere except for America. Even though we're insulting, we usually insult every other country.
We do.
Not on purpose. Sorry,
I
we
mean,
do.
maybe a little.
Maybe a little. They had it coming? Question mark.
No, I thought that this season of Andor was refreshing because it reset the Star Wars universe building.
Yeah.
Like for the first time in a long time, we got new places. For the first time since Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I would say for the first time since Mandalorian season 1. I think season 2 they went to some new places too,
Mm-hmm.
but we also saw a lot of familiar faces in season 2. And anyway, I liked how they built the world out for Andor and revitalized Star Wars fandom, like true Star Wars fandom,
Yeah.
Right.
like creativity. And then for us, it obviously made us like certain things and characters, and like we got to make a short on that, or we got to bring this up because it was just so well crafted that when it paid off, it was a huge payoff, and we haven't got that in the Star Wars universe in a while,
Right.
in film or TV show, other than Mandalorian season 2 and 1, probably,
Right.
and
you
maybe
think-
some Rebels and Tales of the Jedi.
Do you think it's because it's just a new area of the timeline that we haven't experienced yet? You think that's why it did so well?
I think it's that, but it's also more the fact that it's characters we haven't really
Yeah.
delved into.
Yeah,
like
you know,
this.
like you think about the one exception I can think about is the Clone Wars, because the Clone Wars was still good, even though, well, I mean, yeah, technically we hadn't seen that
right
era
And that
in
was-
between episode 1 and 2,
And the
but
Clo-
that's why it was good.
right.
Yeah.
That's why the Clone Wars is kind of almost like a good outline even for this show, because
Yeah.
a lot of the times they would do a 3-episode arc,
Mm-hmm.
which most of this show did, and the beauty of doing a long format like TV show is that you can really dive into the characters.
Yeah.
Going on cool adventures, learning something new.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what was cool about the Clone Wars. It almost felt like Star Trek in some ways. That sounds weird, but there was almost a lesson to be learned
Yeah.
in every episode.
Every
Not
time they
really,
resolved an episode.
but yeah, there was always like something going on. I don't know. They usually learn something for the most part.
Right.
And that's what was interesting in some ways about the Clone Wars. It really gave you an in-depth look. And I think Clone Wars really revitalized the prequels in a lot of ways. It gave you the prequel characters that you didn't have time to fully flesh out and appreciate. And that's why people were like, oh, Anakin's actually kind of cool.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
he's not
that's
just
true.
a whiny kid, you know? But
Cool cat.
cool cat, yeah.
Cool cat, man.
My only downside is I feel like we didn't still get a big payoff on Andor's like personal growth.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We did get him, living in this terrible empire, and that's the one thing that I feel like this show achieved is showing us how horrible the empire really is, and really feeling the weight of the empire crashing down on everybody in this universe.
Yeah.
Which is why, Leia and all the Mon Mothma and all these people try so hard to because it's just the same process, planet after planet after planet after planet, with nobody being able to stop them. And little pockets of resistance rise up, but you can see what happens. People die unnecessarily, and it's just rinse and repeat. And because the empire is so huge, they just keep squashing people.
Mm-hmm.
But Andor didn't really have a huge shining moment for me. But I guess I heard it said that he was kind of the lens for the viewer like us to see how dark and how heavy the empire was.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not that we were supposed to get that kind of super growth, because he just is he's kind of a leader. He's kind of a mess maker, and that's kind of how his life ends. And that's maybe what they're showing. They're like, well, here's what's going on around this guy, Andor. And he's the hero of the show, but he's not going to be the hero you think you want.
Right.
He's the anti-hero.
He's kind of an anti-hero. Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
And
he
so kills everybody.
Even in that final episode, we were more concerned about all the other characters. Like, what's Luthen doing?
Right. Yeah.
The spies,
yeah.
Cyril, Deidre, like they kept focusing on the secondary characters more in this final episode than even Andor, who missed the funeral.
Yeah. And
what a bad son.
Yeah, what a bad son.
Yeah, I know. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it was only so he could get out Bix.
Right.
Yeah. Which
Get Bix out, you mean? Get out Bix?
Yeah.
I mean, we do care about Bix because she
Yeah.
was
Words,
tortured by the Empire, like massively. So
English is hard.
And
English is hard.
I guess it's progression. Him and her may get together, but we know it won't last. Or maybe she'll die, or who knows what. Or maybe she's never going to be the same.
Yeah, do you think she's... That's what I was just going to bring up. Do you think she's going to recover from that torture?
I don't know. I think so.
I think
But
if
maybe
she
not
doesn't...
fully. I mean, I think she'll have PTSD. I think that's
Yeah,
what they're
they
going to
could-
focus on in some ways, and that's probably going to be more of like a
it's going to
catalyst.
be
for-
dark.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
can
gonna
see
be,
it getting very dark.
Yeah. I think the show was more of like a fresh of breath air for Star Wars fans. It wasn't the
Breath of fresh air. A fresh of breath air. What is that?
From start to
This
beginning,
episode
it's a breath of
brought to you
fresh
by
air.
a breath of breath air.
My dyslexia is kicking in hard tonight.
Don't you
I
mean
can't
your
even say-
dyslexia?
My dyslexia is kicking in hard tonight. Wow.
Oh, wow.
My apologies. I cannot say words.
We
at
understand
all.
what you meant.
Just call me Yoda.
Yeah.
I am wearing a Baby
A
Yoda
fresh
shirt.
of
It's
breath
really
air.
wearing off on me.
It's solid. But you're right. It was a
man.
fresh of breath air.
Breath
I want
of
that.
fresh
I want that on a shirt.
fresh-
Fresh of breath air.
Fresh of breath.
Would you like a Wookiee cookie to go with that fresh of breath air?
Yeah.
Oh my
Some
gosh.
blue milk and cereal
I
to go
thought
with
you
it.
said something weird, but I didn't. catch
Yeah,
it
no,
completely.
like I
It
heard
took
it.
him this whole time to realize that.
I heard it and I was like, he didn't say that right, did he? And I was like, he said fresh first.
No, we shouldn't give it away. We should just not address it.
Don't even address it.
and then just see if anybody notices in the comments.
You know, Poe
Like
Buddy's
the-
nerfed.
Like the references.
Yeah.
We can't give it away.
Nobody noticed
Right.
from
I wouldn't
start
have
to
even noticed
beginning.
if you guys noticed anything. I would
Right.
just kept on going. I didn't even realize.
Oh man.
Nobody noticed 3 weeks ago from when he said, from start to beginning, this show had me hooked. Nobody
We were
noticed.
like-
it just rolled, and I just lost it.
I honestly,
I was
don't
like, I know.
think-
I was like,
that
why
one
is he
didn't-
laughing so hard?
That one didn't register as quickly as this one did. A fresher breath air. This episode brought to you by a fresher breath air.
This episode brought to you by Hooked on Phonics.
Remember, it's full circle because Dustin was talking about how air was slowly killing us at the beginning. Was
It
that
is.
live or was that before the show?
No, that's live.
Okay,
Was it? Yeah, it was.
Was it live?
I can't.
I don't know.
remember.
We're all
we
done.
It's all mixing into this thing.
right in
Water.
the comments, if air is
Poisoning my
killing you.
mind.
Right. Water. It's a secret killer.
That's why you go crazy when you get older.
Yeah. You just lose it. You're like,
Just
you
lose
said
it.
fresher breath air.
I don't know if
And
I'll
you know what? It made sense at the time, but now I'm freaking out.
This episode brought to you by Air.
Air.
Can't
the
live with
silent
it. Can't
killer.
live without it.
The invisible killer.
Silent but deadly.
Oh my god!
Wow.
This show is
Wasn't there a-
divulged.
All right,
what
let's
movie was that the air was trying to kill him?
Oh, The Happening.
The
happening. Yeah, the
Oh,
wind.
no, it was
the
nature.
trees.
Yeah. No, it was air though.
No, well, it was the plants were like
but like
sending
every time
things in the air.
yeah.
Yeah, but it was-
you just see air going through the trees and you're like, I can't take that seriously. It's just too funny. You can't even talk.
It's true though.
Can you see the wind? Nope. I can
tried
see the effects
making
of the wind.
I can see the
seeable.
effects of the wind.
Right. It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
In my mind's eye.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to the next topic. What do you say?
Yeah,
Next
no.
topic,
Well, I was gonna say
please.
though was
Oh, okay.
sorry, real quick, and then
Air.
we'll move on. This is the point to point them all.
Are you gonna put on some airs?
No, so
Wow.
Andrew was. Okay,
He
I'm
forgot.
gonna say something
Next
stupid.
subject.
A
Terrific.
breath of fresh air.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Because it gave Star Wars fans more of a feeling of true Star Wars.
Yeah.
It fits right in with the Rogue One universe. It's kind of like the Rogue One universe of Star Wars, where we have like the Filoni verse, we have like the original trilogy, the prequels. It fits in nicely, but it's more the writing and the story. It was cohesive writing and a good story, and really the effects were really well done. I think that
Yeah.
was another big thing that made me happy about watching the show. Is I was like, that's like, I mean, there's moments where it was not as good, but it really nailed a lot of the things in this show. The whole sequence of him flying out the, what was it called, the eye on
the eye. That was what it was called.
that was awesome looking. I love seeing that
Yeah.
that sequence
On Aldani.
on Aldani. That was
Yeah.
so cool.
That needs to be an ambience.
Yeah, that was such a cool scene. I love that. There's
Everything's
like
an
moments in this show too where you're just like, this is amazing, like
Right.
incredible. And that's what I really like. I just felt like it needed a little bit more of a payoff, but I'm hoping season 2 will really kind of have more of a payoff and be the best show. As of
Mhm.
now, after thinking about it a little bit more, again, there's moments, but when I think about the overall series, like Dan was saying, with progression of the characters, I'm like, there wasn't really a ton.
No.
And then what did we really accomplish? Not that we needed to accomplish a lot. The only thing we really accomplished was, okay, now he's going to join the...
Right. And that's like you said earlier. It's like this show should have just been called something else other than Andor.
Right. He was just a
'Cause
catalyst. But
He's kind of a static character too.
yeah.
He doesn't really have a lot of development.
Yeah, which is okay. And I think the reason they didn't focus on him too much in some ways is because we know where he ends up.
Yeah.
There's not a lot
He
of
literally
intrigue.
helped create the device that kills him in the end.
Yes. Which is
Spoilers, Martha.
ironic. Yeah, we just spoiled a lot.
Well,
So if you haven't seen it,
and
sorry.
who does he die with? He
Apologies.
dies with Jen,
Yeah.
Gene.
and Jen's dad
She's a
designed
rebel. She rebels.
designed part of or it had to do with the Kyber harvesting. Anyway,
The what?
Jen's
the Kyber
dad,
crystal. He
Yeah.
was
On Jeddah.
yeah, having to do with building the Death Star. So both of them are directly to blame for their own death.
Yep.
right. Yeah.
Inadvertently.
Kill
Indirectly,
yourself.
but directly.
Indirectly, but directly.
Oh, the irony.
yeah.
Killed yourself.
So anyway, way better though than the rest of the seasons or shows that have come out this year.
Yes.
Boba Fett
Hands down.
and Obi-Wan were.
And that other
Dragon.
one. I thought that's what you were going
It's
to
a
say.
step in the right direction.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
That's why people who actually watch it enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is definitely head and shoulders above a lot of other stuff in Star Wars.
Head and
Yeah.
shoulders.
But you can
This episode
isolate the
brought to you by
episodes.
Head and shoulders.
Shoals.
And it's just
Shampoo.
good movie making or good TV. You know,
Yeah.
the story is just for each episode is solid. The acting of each scene is thought through, and the
Yeah.
look of it, the CG, like you said, is all.
Like you pull like
Moment
a
to
scene
moment.
from this show and it beats out most other Disney Star Wars anything.
Yeah.
Really.
Yep.
It
Other
does.
than Mandalorian. I think the Mandalorian
We should do a side by side, like look at this framing, look at this shot compared to the garbage over here with like
Right.
other people.
Right.
This is
This is
right.
just utterly bad.
Something. One of these two things is right, and one of these two things
One
is
of
wrong.
these things is not like the other.
All right, so just to put a pin, what do we say?
Cherry on the top.
Cherry on top. Is it better than Mandalorian? That's the question I want to know from everybody.
I honestly have to
Because really, that's the only contender, right?
I think I have to rewatch Mandalorian
to really
to
fully
really feel
get like.
the immersion.
But if you had to answer right now,
Better.
would you say better than Mandalorian or
I would say slightly better than Mandalorian.
okay?
Yes.
You think it beats out
Story
Mandalorian?
wise, yes.
Story-wise?
Not action wise though.
I know.
Mandalorian wins in that one.
I
So
would
that's why it's-
probably agree with Nick.
That's the
Yeah.
tough. That's the tough thing about it. Which one do you value more? Is it action or do you value story?
It depends. Yeah, like I said, it depends on what you value.
Right. But
Literally
even
what
in
you just
Mandalorian,
asked.
there's not a ton of story.
Yeah.
There's hints and pieces of story that's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, the main thing again is Grogu.
Yeah, and see, like you said in previous episodes, Andor is literally like every day. Mandalorian
Yeah,
jumps
and I
a
like
little
that.
bit.
It was
Yeah.
more cohesive that way. It was
Yeah.
easier to follow in some regard.
well,
it keeps you. It
and
keeps you
for
hooked.
me, Andor never let me down
Like a
week
fish.
to week.
Yeah.
The episodes never really let me
Right?
down.
Yeah,
No.
there
The
wasn't an episode that was like
The only way that it would let you
Mm.
down is if because you wanted more. Like it felt like it left you.
more. Yeah,
Whereas Mandalorian, both seasons there were episodes that you could take it or leave it.
Filler.
Yeah.
It
I'd
felt
say-
more filler. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. There was no filler in Andor. I felt like the story was written and they just executed perfectly. Like you didn't go off on some random world with some random person
right.
right.
that you hadn't seen, and then some stupid, there were stupid characters, but there wasn't episodes that were just wasted. It was all to an end.
Right. But Mando beats out in like action, you
Yeah.
know, the scope of the universe in
Yeah.
some ways.
Scope.
Well, although it is pretty focused on those two, but
Right.
you're seeing other characters and the humor. I'd say humor is definitely
Yeah, humor.
a lot
Yeah,
more humor, which feels a lot more Star Wars.
Yeah.
The type of humor they have in it and the characters are what really, again, in Mando, because you're seeing so many big hitters.
Big hit.
And
it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I think people are going to be really excited for Mando after this, even.
Yeah.
yeah.
And if they missed Andor, oh well. People still love Mando.
And or what?
Andor what?
All right.
Got 'em.
So for us right now, beats out in story, but
Not in action.
not in action. So we also got a comment here real quick from Carla. She says, it is definitely one of the best Star Wars shows that I have seen. Awesome.
Agreed.
Sweet.
Thanks for the comment. We appreciate it.
Yes.
And we agree with you. I'd say story, yeah, definitely beats out. So if I had to pick, though, that's the thing I want to know. If you guys had to pick between Mandalorian and Andor,
Like I said, I have to watch Mandalorian. I
Right,
cannot.
you
I can't make
have-
an informed
no.
right
decision.
now, you have to pick right now.
Depends on what kind of mood you're in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my
Either you want story or
gosh.
you want action.
We both indecisive.
I'm
Matt, you
hey,
choose.
You choose, Matt. You probably pick Mando.
Mando.
Me,
Mando from Matt.
Mando.
Mando.
Mandalorian. But it's a close second.
Mandalorian.
Is
It's a very
Andor.
close second.
I feel like
But-
Mando, you can just pop on any episode, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that was a good popcorn
Yep.
Yeah.
moment.
Popcorn.
Andor, you pop it on,
in
and
the
you're
theater.
like,
Popcorn moment.
if you just watch episode
Andor, this is a
7,
documentary. I got to watch it in order.
yeah, if you watch
Yeah.
Andor of like episode 8, you just be like, okay, that was interesting.
Right? You're like, wait, how did they get to this point?
But
I
by
got to rewatch
its-
everything.
Yeah, exactly. By itself, it doesn't stand on its own. But if you take 12 episodes, you're like, that is an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Mando, it's more serialized in some ways, and you're like you meet the villain of that episode, you get out, you had a fun blasting time, shooting stuff and whatever they did. There's always action in the Mando.
Yeah.
And when
Agreed.
Mando got away from action, it dipped.
It dipped.
It just didn't have the actor's director in there. Like I feel like if Tony Gilroy and helped write,
Yep.
I mean, really the perfect.
Yeah, the Mando acting was not anywhere near Andor.
No.
Nowhere at all close to Andor.
What I would, if I could mix, I would just like bring Tony Gilroy on to help with the writing, so that you have that hook at the end of every Mandalorian show for an overarching thing. I really hope they take. I know it's already written and probably filmed and everything at
Yeah.
this point, but if they did even for season 4 of Mando, if they had like the outline of Tony Gilroy for keeping you hooked as to the plot, like you have to know what's going to happen next
Yeah.
week. If they did that with the action involved in Mando and the Star Wars thing, you'd be as close to the original trilogy, I think, as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
Right.
that would be perfect.
It would.
If I had to choose right now, ooh, that is a very
Ooh.
difficult.
That's what you should
Am I the
do.
only one who can answer this question?
You should create a dream team of Star Wars content. Right? Like
Yeah.
Tony Gilroy writing this stuff.
Mm.
And you got Filoni like directing the, story maybe a
Flying the
little bit.
ship.
Yeah.
And then you got Favreau doing some CG stuff.
I think for right now, I'm going to choose Mandalorian.
Ooh.
I've had a little
Sucker
bit.
punch.
I've had a little bit of time to think about it. Even though I love so much about Andor, I think season 2 might get me to like Andor more than Mandalorian.
It probably will.
I think so, but that's the unfair advantage of Mandalorian is they had 2 seasons and then plus an extra episode, and we are looking forward to season 3. And I'm very intrigued at what's going to happen in season 3.
Yeah,
That Andor doesn't really have that, and I just didn't feel like it had quite the payoff that I wanted for Andor, which is not necessarily anything to take away from it, but it's just that's the only reason.
But what if they give you Andor now, and that crew they go from place to place, just like fighting battles now,
kind of like Rebels.
Like Rebels,
kind of like Rebels.
Yeah,
and they
I
just
could
help
see that.
insurgents on
That'd be
different
great.
places. Like it starts off, they're like in the trenches, like setting a trap for like a battle or something, you know.
Right.
like what we thought Bad Batch was going to be.
Kinda. Yeah, like maybe that.
They crucified Bad Batch.
Yeah, Bad Batch really did not live up to the hype.
Like, because like Rebels is like Seven Samurai over and over. They go to places and they help them build whatever, and then they fight off and they help save this particular sound.
But they had a bigger overarching story, though, even in
True.
Rebels. Even bigger than that. That's why I think Rebels, if you did a live-action Rebels, it would blow away everything else.
Yeah.
Because most people don't watch animated Star Wars for some reason. People
Right.
just have a stigma against animation.
Matt.
But, I mean, I get it in some ways. They just
Sorry.
think it's kiddish, you know?
Kiddish.
So that's what I'm saying. If you would have done a live-action Rebels, that would probably be the best show.
Heck, I mean, next season of Andor, you could run into the live action.
Well, that's really what we're going to get. And I think Ahsoka,
Honestly,
too.
I wouldn't be mad.
All right. Yeah, no, I
I'd
agree.
be
I think it'd be awesome.
I'd be floored.
All right, Dan,
I might die and come back to life.
we
if
all
that
chose.
happens.
Did you choose?
I said it depends.
I said
I'd have
Andor.
to-
I
I'd
said
have to
I said
watch.
Andor.
Andor.
Yeah, I'd say Andor
for
too.
a
It's a 2 and 2.
serialized thing. But
Alright, so we're
if I
fighting
want
to
to
the
just
death.
pop an episode of something in, it's got to be like even Mandalorian season 1, episode 1. Like that's so much fun to watch.
It is super fun
Like
to watch.
the music, you remember how you felt when you watched it? Like, whoa, this is
Right.
unbelievable. Or Mandalorian at the final episode of season 2. You're like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Like the moments they
This
gave
is
you.
amazing.
Or Mandalorian inside of Boba Fett, 5 and 6. Like that's just unbelievable
Yeah.
TV.
right.
And Andor hit some highs, but I don't know if it quite got that high. You know what I mean?
Right.
See,
Because the
Andor
greater
did-
Star Wars universe.
Yeah, Andor did not have the Luke Skywalker moment.
Not
Like
yet.
Fans had been not yet.
Not yet, man.
But it had some really good ones. Just the monologues of some of those are my favorite parts of the Andor show.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I agree with you. That makes sense. 2 and 2, that makes sense.
We're
That's-
split.
That's
We're
our
split
hot
right
take
down the
on
middle.
Andor.
Yeah.
Season 1. Man, I'm looking forward to season 2.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of which,
speaking of which,
Speaking of which, nice segue.
they are starting to film more of that. Actually, I think we'll move on from that. We'll cover
Okay.
some more. We were gonna go into some news, but I think we're gonna go into some more news next week. We've kind of been talking about Andor for a long time, so
Okay.
we're gonna jump into the meme of the week, baby.
all right, meme of the week is. Boom, there she is.
Me.
Awesome.
Hello
There
there.
she be.
Hi,
Them.
how are you?
Failure. I love this meme.
Also,
I usually send a meme every week.
it kind of relates to Andor too, because he's shooting them.
yeah, Andor's always blowing people away. If you don't, there might be people that don't understand the reference.
Yeah.
You want to explain the reference?
Matt, do you understand it?
Matt doesn't understand.
Matt doesn't
the
I don't
reference.
understand half of
Okay,
the
fact
memes
check.
you guys send.
Whenever somebody says hello there,
Mm-hmm.
the correct response is to say, General Kenobi,
Yes,
you are a bold one.
100% of the time. That if anybody
works
ever,
every time.
as a Star Wars fan, 60% of the time, if you ever say, if somebody says hello there, you have to say General Kenobi.
General Kenobi.
It's just a Star Wars.
It's like a rite of passage.
It's hilarious. I love this meme, and I love Star Wars. That's been the meme of the week.
The meme of the week.
All right.
That was
Moving on, baby.
Moving on real quick.
What
Like
are we
a
moving
train
on to?
rolling down the tracks.
All right.
Spoiler.
We're going to jump into some non-spoiler territory because we haven't had a chance to review it yet. We're going to do some rapid fire on this, too. We're going to go quickly through this. We're going to do a non-spoiler of Tales of the Jedi.
The first episode.
We all watched Tales of the Jedi. Well, most of us watched Tales of the Jedi.
Matt didn't.
But he did see this episode.
He saw the first episode.
We're going to review episode 1,
Numero
which
uno.
is called
Life and Death.
Life and Death.
death and life.
And
Fresh of breath air.
Taxes.
And taxes.
Guaranteed.
Life, liberty, and taxes. And death.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
All
And
right.
air.
So non-spoiler. What'd you think of it?
What did we think of this one? Dan,
Short.
take us away.
It was an interesting episode. I liked the main character. Can we spoil who the main character? The whole. We can't say who it's about. Can we say who
No,
it's about?
just non-spoilers.
Nah.
Okay.
Spoilers.
There were some funny moments. There were some laughable moments for me. It was
Yeah.
it was probably one of the weaker
Yeah.
episodes of the entire Tales of the Jedi. It was a nice soft opening. It looks beautiful. Like I said, the scenery. Of course, I'm on the ambience kick.
Yeah,
There were
pros.
2 or 3 or 4 ambience. I mean, views that were just like that's beautiful. In an animated world, it's like
Yeah.
a high level like the best of the Rebels. Season finale. How good
Right.
that animation was. It was that good, and all of these episodes. So I love seeing the cinematography and the way that they meaning Dave Filoni frames everything. He just knows. He
Yeah.
crafts it so much, and if Dave Filoni's involved, then there's going to be some other characters that we also know involved. But
Right.
I liked how it looked. Not my favorite of the whole series. Probably
Right,
maybe
yeah.
my least favorite of the whole series.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, you covered pretty much everything.
You
there.
covered all
Yeah.
the bases, gentlemen.
That's all there is.
But
to
don't
it.
take my word for it. I'm just
Take-
the bus driver.
Take his word for
this
it.
guy.
I'll
Take
just
the
say,
fresher breath air, man.
say the one who can't say words. Even the guy who
Can't think says
says
something.
That's me. I'm,
Where'd you
I'm-
get your clothes at? Toilet
Toilet
store? Come on, guys.
Name that reference. Wookiee cookies are
Yeah.
at stake.
Still available.
Our steak?
Still available.
Still
Selling fast. We got some more
Selling
left.
fast.
Still unavailable.
For the first time
Still
again.
available, unavailable.
Or wait, again
Unavailable.
for the first time.
Again for the first
Again
time.
for the first time.
Matt liked this episode though, right?
No.
Matt had
Matt had an indifferent reaction to it.
But
Matt,
he liked
you have to talk in the third person now.
Right.
From now on.
Hey,
he
I'm
liked,
Matt.
He liked the one activity. He could relate to the
Matt
activity
is
that
me.
took place
Oh,
in
yeah,
this
that's true.
episode.
Oh, true.
You can't say what it is though, because it's not spoilers.
Can't say what it is.
I love this activity, but I can't tell you what it is because I'm a man of mystery.
One of Matt's favorite activities was in the forefront.
pooping.
That's one of his favorite things.
Was it?
I mean,
was
isn't it
pooping?
everybody's favorite thing to do?
Was it pooping? Was it running through the street screaming? Or was it speaking in a different language where nobody understood what he said?
Oh,
All of the above.
All of the above.
yes.
D.
A, B, or D.
C,
3 of
or
his favorite
E.
activities.
Yes.
Nick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pros and cons. Give us a few
I'd have to
non-spoilers.
agree with you. It was it's a slow episode. It almost
Not
like
much.
I'm wondering why they chose that one for the first episode, but
So-
it kind of makes
well-
sense. It answers questions that we had, answers questions that we didn't have, just like that. But I think, yeah, reasons, kid. I think Filoni made this episode because it's akin to another show he worked on, and I think that's why he did it. But also, yeah, it goes back to answering questions about this specific individual
Yeah.
who we can't tell you their name.
I mean, that's why he did this episode.
yeah,
It's really
I think
the
it was
main
paying
character.
homage.
Yeah. Although honestly, I think we could have done without it. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I-
yeah. It was just it was kind of like
Not much happened.
the first episode should like really hook you in, and this one was kind of like,
We
okay,
don't want you here.
like why?
The only
That's exactly how I kind
It
of
was
felt.
more of just like a cool, like, oh, hey, okay, we got to see that.
Yeah.
Didn't need
It
to.
was eye candy.
It was,
was,
in
yeah.
some ways. It's almost like,
It was like Dave Filoni saying, "I'm back, baby."
yeah, and it's like anytime Ahsoka's involved with anything
Hey,
Star Wars.
hey.
Oh, I just gave it away.
No spoilers.
Oh,
He is just
so sorry.
he's off the show
He's got
again.
freshes of breath air. He's got spoilers.
Spoiler alert. Sorry. Sheesh. I did
It's
not
okay.
mean
That's
to
not a
say that.
spoiler.
No.
I mean, it's in the trailer.
I mean, it is,
I
but
think
it
it's on the
It's in the
cover
trailer.
photo.
If it's in the trailer, it's not a spoiler. That's how I've always talked about it.
If it's on the internet, it must be true.
Breaking the
Right.
rules.
And it's
Right.
also been out for like
Nice.
weeks.
Yeah, come on.
But
That's okay. They know it's about Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And that's
Wait,
why
what?
Filoni had her.
Ahsoka.
wait, what?
Wait, what? Matt just watched it, and he doesn't even know.
Actually,
He's like,
he probably
who is that?
doesn't. Do you know?
That's, no, I did actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I
Or
was
did
like-
I?
I mean, they say her name in the episode, so
yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. Well, he just no.
you
he
got to
just
be
said
pretty
Ahsoka.
dense to miss that one.
All right, let's get it.
Matt.
Okay, I want to get into the
Yeah.
spoilers because I want to laugh about that. My favorite line.
Yeah, yeah. But
All right.
real quick though, the pros and cons. We're gonna just hit it real fast with the non-spoilers. Pros, the cinematography looks great. It's awesome to see Dave Filoni's progression with the way that they're doing it. It's clean. Although there are a few janky moments.
Yeah.
There's a fight scene in this, and I'm like, that looks a little jittery. There was a few things that I was just like, that's not as pleasing
Cameraman
to the
had
eye.
too much coffee.
Speaking of the graphics,
The animated
it was.
cameraman.
There were a few moments in here, and I was like, that doesn't look as good as I remember it looking the first time I saw this.
Yeah.
Different TV.
The villain of this to me looked.
TV.
The villain of this to me looked a little.
Yeah, like
Saucy.
fake.
Yeah, I was like, something happened there.
what does that mean?
It was covered in spaghetti sauce.
Maybe more poly.
Yeah, right.
It was very polished. It looked very
it
like
was
2005
anime.
children
Yeah,
animation.
it was like
3D.
the start of Clone Wars.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
was
they-
like start of Clone Wars.
It's like
definitely.
they don't quite have enough
Nope.
triangles in the 3D.
He's got too many squares, no triangles.
Agreed. It
But-
was just not the most polished, I think, the
Right.
villain.
So
And there was
White.
even watching this episode again, I was like, there's more questions. I feel like than anything. Like,
Yeah.
why are they doing what they're doing? Like so many
Yeah.
things in this.
what
I
is
was just
she
like,
saying?
It just
What-
doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
a lot of things didn't make sense. It was
There's
just
no subtitles
of the
to
way
break
it
down the
is.
language.
No.
like, right.
So for all we know, they're just saying random words.
Yeah,
Random
there's no
words.
subtitles. I know subtitles. I think would have been a good addition, but then they
No
would have had to
subtitles, eh?
think about what those meant. Which
Right.
I'm sure Dave Filoni probably would.
Yeah.
But yeah. So pros, good cinematography in aspects. Cons, bad cinematography in aspects.
Yeah.
Story, not much there. It's basically just
Introduction.
an introduction
Yeah.
of a main character,
Ahsoka.
Yeah, which is cool. Just seeing her is probably the coolest part, and I think this whole thing was a setup just to show that Ahsoka's been cool since birth.
She's
really.
been cool. She's
cool,
a cool
bro.
baby.
That's cool, but other than that, there really wasn't a lot to this episode.
No.
Again, more questions than answers.
Yeah.
But an okay start, not the best. There's going to be so many better episodes
Right.
after that. I mean, like that blow things away and blow this episode away.
Blow
But they
'em
did
up.
it. I think he just did it though to get people like, oh yeah, this is a Dave Filoni
Right.
show. You
Yeah.
know, like welcome back. We're back.
Welcome back, Dave
No, but
Filoni.
I didn't even know it was coming out really that much. ahead of
Yeah,
time.
like-
I mean, there was a little bit.
I think
here
it was
and
like
there,
a
but-
month before it came out. They were like, "Oh, this show's coming out,"
also-
and we were like, "Oh, cool." I had no idea Dave Filoni was, in charge of production
Right,
or creative. Yeah, creative producer.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, right.
So what Dan
Right.
said really was it was good, not great. Isn't that kind of what you
Yeah.
said basically?
Yeah, it was the
Coulda done-
worst.
actually, could have done without it.
Yeah,
It was
No.
the worst of all of it. So if you can stomach
The worst
episode
of all of
1,
it.
you'll have no problem with the rest. How
it
many
was
are
the
there?
worst
6?
of the best.
It'll literally get better than.
How many are
mean,
there? 6 or
You can
8?
just skip the first
Oh,
one if
there's
you wanted
6.
to.
I thought there are only 6.
Yeah,
Holy cow!
isn't that
Okay.
nuts?
I thought there was
I
more.
thought-
Right.
But the
it was
rest
like-
5
Because they
make up for
time
any.
jump.
Yeah, the rest
Yeah.
5 make up for any shortcomings of.
Yep.
Of the first one,
See, and in
100%.
later episodes, it makes sense why he starts with Ahsoka.
It does.
it does, but it didn't. It still doesn't make
It doesn't.
sense
It
to
doesn't.
me.
Like, why did they start
Which is
right
it?
there?
Yeah,
with Ahsoka?
they should have started a little later.
You know,
I
like
think,
little Anakin.
but
No,
they
it
had
should
to.
have been. It should have been like episode. If there's 6 episodes, it should have been episode 3.
Yeah.
If you were gonna do this, it would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of what happens. All right, we're jumping ahead of ourselves though. So we are.
Skipping ahead.
We're gonna do some spoiler reviews. Unless you guys got anything else to say
Nope.
about this?
Nah, we're
Nada.
All right. We're going to do a quick promo trailer, and then we will be back with some spoilers, so stick around.
Spoilers.
We'll see you on the other side.
I see you, girl.
Laserbrain Gaming! Laserbrain Gaming! Laserbrain Gaming! Laserbrain Gaming! Laserbrain Gaming! Superfluous Buns! You thought I was going to say Laserbrain Gaming, didn't you?
almost did.
Laserbrain Gaming! We'll see you next time on Laserbrain Gaming! You guys want to say anything else before we leave? Any words of wisdom, Matt?
No, not in particular.
See ya.
Round is a shape.
And that'll do it.
Interesting fact. Do you know why they said be there or be square?
Mine.
Because if you weren't there, you weren't around.
Ah!
Circles!
It's a conspiracy, I tell you! So that is our other channel that we are starting here soon. It is called Laserbrain Gaming. If you like what you see here, you're definitely going to like what you see over there. So like, comment, subscribe on this channel, Hawk Studio, stay on target, and then go over to Laserbrain, like, comment, subscribe there. It's going to be good stuff.
Do it.
It's fun. It's funny. It's
fun
going to make
stuff.
you laugh. It's going to make you maybe cry from how much you're laughing
Oh,
How
busted.
bad it is. We don't really know.
or how bad.
Can we do some Laserbrain ambience? It's just like you guys, like the back of your heads.
It's literally just the
Playing a game for
clicking
like-
of the remotes
for
and
like
us
8 hours.
laughing.
And then just screams
That
every
would be
once in a while.
How accurate is that? Like 8 hours of video gaming? You guys could do it.
I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
I could do that.
I can do it.
4 hours.
What are you
Do we
talking
get-
about?
do we
You're
get-
on.
do
You're
we get
online all the
breaks?
time.
Do we get breaks?
No.
No,
No pee breaks.
no pee breaks. You gotta
No,
bring your
that
stadium
would be
buddy.
included, right? You know,
My
like
buttocks,
throwing the remotes, all that
hurts.
good stuff.
He
I'm
is
sitting
numb.
right now. It's hurting.
Blood clot.
You gotta stand up, man.
Well, am I allowed to?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Brilliant. All right,
Anyway.
so spoilers.
He's
Let's
dying.
jump into these spoilers, baby.
We're in.
Spoilers.
There's not much, really. There's not much. This episode was 19 minutes total, wasn't it?
And it's like I think it's like one of the longest ones,
Yeah.
which is funny because
Right,
I feel like there's a lot more in the other episodes, but they're shorter.
right. They're so good.
All I know is Yakabiso or whatever he said.
Yakabiso!
It's my favorite.
Yakabiso!
Yeah, which is like
We don't know what that means.
so. What you
Could be
you-
cursing everybody right now.
Yes.
we could be.
Yakabiso!
And, to Gruten, we could be.
Yeah.
It kind of was interesting because it shows some more to Gruten life, but I feel like in other like depictions of what's the name? I don't know the name of the planet, but in to Gruten's society,
Tagru?
there's some
Tegru?
really interesting like different places. I feel like it's more like mountaintops and there's like arid.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I thought it was
Arid.
more like oh shoot.
Yeah, what's that name? What's that planet?
Oh,
What
I just
name
lost
that
it.
planet. Planet that name.
The Twilix. What's
Yeah,
the
the Twi'leks.
Twilix homeworld is?
It's not Lothal.
No.
No.
Dang it. I always forget everything when I'm on the show.
Ryloth?
We couldn't think.
Ryloth. Yes,
Yeah.
Ryloth.
Ryloth, yeah.
Okay.
We said
I thought it was
Ryloth
more
last
Ryloth.
week, thinking of Lothal.
Yeah.
They're
That's
similar.
right. That's right.
They are similar.
Rylothal.
When
Then
it
there's
starts-
Matt.
He's in the background just
Oh, gnarly waves.
Snarly waves, bro.
Oh, but we start off with a baby crying, coming right out the womb.
Yakabiso!
Yakabiso.
Him
pretty
yelling Yakamiso. That was the dad, right?
Yeah. Well, we hope
daddy.
so. I don't know who he was.
Yeah, no.
The
it
baby
was,
daddy.
Yeah, what's he screaming? What do you
I
think
don't know.
he's
What do
meaning?
you guys think he's screaming?
He's,
It's like a
He's
it's like a
upset that
dad.
he had a baby girl.
Yeah, right. He's like, I
No,
gotta, he's
Gosh,
like, I gotta
dang
go
it.
run in the woods for about a
that was
week.
that was one of the first questions we all had was he
What is
comes
he
out
saying?
of the baby
He keeps running.
being
Yeah, the baby's
born.
being born.
Yeah, he yells Yakamiso. Everybody congratulates him.
And then he
hugs him,
immediately
and then
leaves
he
the
just
village.
Takes off.
He just keeps going.
Gone.
I hope he comes back.
Right?
I mean, I understand.
Where
Like
was he going?
he probably thought it was a boy, and so he ran out. He's like, "It's a boy! It's a boy!" And then he.
And then
It's like
Gold Digger says, "It's a girl."
Gold
It's a girl, and then he just
That's
leaves
the
town.
name of the chick,
I think
isn't
it's Goldica.
Goldiga. Okay, well, it
Transferred
sounded like
to
Gold Digger.
Gold
It,
Digger in
it does
America.
sound like Gold Digger.
Yeah.
So from now on, she will be Gold Digger.
Gold digger.
The-
She marries
chief-
rich.
The
Yeah,
chief
she
lady,
marries rich.
which
Yeah.
is another thing in this episode. It's like
Indian,
obviously
like-
women in charge in
Yeah.
some ways. Yeah,
It's very native.
Americans.
Women in charge, leading the pack. Whatnot.
Also,
or tribal, like. Go ahead. African.
also, yeah, like Filoni's the other show he worked on, Avatar,
Avatar.
The Last Airbender.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's really what this. I watched it again and I was like, this kind of reminds me of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
but
And that's the exact thought I had.
Avatar: The Last Airbender was not made in 2022, so you didn't have the same kind of like,
No, but it was like
female
it was a
everything.
village in the woods.
True.
And
Right.
It's very
As is a lot of
native
things.
right no.
esque.
It
Yeah.
was an
Just call me Gran.
an
No,
uplifting,
Gold Digger.
Oh.
a mostly uplifting episode.
Yeah.
Right. There was not much heaviness other than when
Well,
she got
Other
stolen by the
than
cat
near
or whatever.
death.
Yeah.
situation.
Other than
Situations.
showing your 1-year-old child how to kill someone.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
Gotta
And
start him
also-
young.
Yeah,
Is
we
that,
were-
is that
I
how
mean,
you
it
go
was-
hunting, Matt?
Yes.
Take
It
a
was
small
intense.
child with you.
Like it's one thing to see it like get shot. It's another thing to
taking it as
walk
a
up to
small
the
child.
death rattle and stab it. Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
She's like,
That was
you-
pretty intense.
You have
You're
to
right.
confront death. And it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure if that was a normal kid, they'd have nightmares about that the rest
Right.
of their life.
Can you at least wait till they're like 12? Like, why
Right.
does it have to be? Because then Gold Digger was like, one already.
Right.
You're
Has
like,
it been a year already?
and then
It's
you're like, yeah,
Seriously, a year? She's
just
not
in
gonna
time
remember
to
this,
teach her how to be a sniper.
or it's going to be traumatic for her. Yeah.
American sniper.
Sniper.
To Gruten sniper.
To Gruten sniper.
Yeah, it's just kind of odd, that whole like, and then also like, why did the mom go out by herself?
Yeah,
Like,
that part was weird.
and why it wouldn't? It seems like that if it was a like Native American society, it would have been, but it's progressive because it's the female taking them out instead of the male.
Right.
which-
She didn't even
But,
have.
I
a-
mean, hey, at least the guy wasn't completely worthless.
Yeah, he was
He was
actually
working on the
working
house.
on something.
With
At least there was
droids.
two
Roof.
parents in this Disney.
He's
thing.
putting
Male
he's
and
putting
female.
some gooders up.
And he does
Some
come.
gooders up.
He does immediately come to the hell. You know, they come to hell.
Yeah, but
with
they can't
rifles.
hit. They can't hit a
Every
broadside of
dang
a
shot.
barn
They cannot.
because the men aren't trained in firearms expertise.
only the
I can't
only the
believe they
little
didn't
kids.
shoot Ahsoka.
The little girls are
I know they could have. Like,
Oh,
stop
man.
shooting. You could hit the child.
It's like this is why we need men to be trained in firearms.
Right.
You guys can't shoot anything.
You can't shoot nothing.
Right.
Yeah. There was a lot of whys. Like, if
That's
you knew
where-
that thing was out there.
Why are you going hunting by
I
yourself?
feel like it
Yeah.
At least
resembled-
take another person.
Well,
with
and
you.
nobody seemed concerned.
Yeah.
They're not, nobody was like, "Be careful." They're just like, "Have fun going to the grocery store."
Right.
They
Right.
were
It was like a normal thing.
It's like the Drago moment. If she dies, she dies.
She dies.
It's the will of
It's
the
like
force.
it was like a weird 1-year-old rite of passage.
Yeah.
Like if you survive the hunting expedition and the giant tiger that always attacks in that field,
Right. It's like we gotta go to his. We
That-
gotta go to his territory. I know this is super dangerous, but
Yeah.
it's really fun.
again, that's why the dad
Promise.
was useless. He's like, "Good luck, have fun.
Yeah,
I'll be
right.
working on the house in case you
Yeah.
die. I'll marry somebody, have another
They're
kid,
all
and then
just-
I'll yell Yakubi so."
They're,
Yakubi so!
they're,
Pat
they're
myself
used to
in
the
the head.
concept of like if there's not a chance you die, it's not exciting.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Questions abound.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and then speaking of the attack,
Yeah. Go ahead.
the thing just takes Ahsoka with it
Why
instead
didn't
of just eating her right
yeah.
there.
Why didn't I just eat it right?
I don't
there?
know. It was like
because she's got to live.
Also, why did it not
plot armor.
Like if it was an actual hungry animal looking
Yeah.
for food, it would have just bit her. It would have like grabbed the back of her neck.
Yeah.
That was one thing that didn't make sense. It like grabbed like her clothing and then took her into the woods,
Yeah.
set her
Nice
down,
and gentle.
Set her
didn't
down.
immediately eat her.
I'll save this snack for later. It turns around.
Yeah.
Man, I'm hungry.
And then all of a sudden it's hungry. It's like again, that didn't really make a whole bunch of sense.
Well, it had a mortally wounded that would not put up a fight animal there.
Yeah.
Right? Just take that.
Just
instead.
grab that like fresh meat, like it's already dead, like it's going to be a lot more filling, and it's not going to fight back.
Yeah.
Other than maybe that animal
Facts.
is a little bit smarter than it looks,
yeah.
and it was like, I'm going to get back at them because they made me mad, or she obviously cut the animal.
I only got shot 3 times and it was from a female.
I, was
I
a
gotta
little-
get back at that mom.
I wasn't
My
sure.
pride
I'm gonna
is
take your
aching.
kid.
I'm gonna take your kid.
I just feel like as a viewer, you're like, you weren't sure what to think. You know,
Yeah.
you're like, should I be
Well, yeah.
Should I be worried?
sad or
Yeah, right.
happy? I don't know.
That's why it was
mixed-
confusing. It was like,
yeah.
what's the motivation of like the animal in
Yeah.
some ways? You're like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, do you not know about hunting in some ways?
It just
I don't know. That's
Ain't got nothing.
it felt like a
Ain't got
kids episode until like she made the baby stab the death rattle animal.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
And
the
then
baby
you're like,
didn't
okay.
actually stab the
Yeah, she made her watch.
Yeah,
And that was a
right.
super Native American moment where she says that we don't waste anything, you know, which
We take only what, we need.
Well, at that point, you should have grabbed the heart out and eaten it.
Yeah.
This
You
is,
see this, Ahsoka?
we don't waste
This is the
anything.
bloodlust.
Come on,
I have
you're
a
one
story like
already.
that.
That's like 7 in dog years.
to Gruten's age
You're
differently.
obviously old enough for this.
Come on.
This won't bring up any trauma or
You can
anything
barely
else.
walk, but let's go hunt and
And
kill
worst
stuff.
case, if a giant tiger attacks you, we know it won't eat you.
Right.
It'll at least
Yeah.
carry you off and then think about eating you.
Yeah.
until you make a sound, and then it'll
Yeah.
immediately start drooling and want to eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's against the rules to Gruten rules to like eat a 1-year-old
Right.
baby in
What-
front of its mother.
What it felt like
Just can't
was-
do it.
It's
illegal.
actually this is how it's a sacrifice. Every year a kid is born, they sacrifice it to that tiger
That
thing.
tiger.
But they put up a fight to make it look like
Seem
they
like-
actually want that kid.
So
And
there's
then
no paperwork to be
Wow.
No paperwork.
This
Oh, I
episode
can
got a lot darker.
save a lot of money on my taxes this year.
That's
Or wait,
so dark.
wow.
I have to
So
pay
that's-
more into taxes.
That's why
Wow.
everybody
How many
was just
write-offs?
so like accepting of
Yeah.
one already. Okay.
Okay, I guess
Good luck with the
you either
sacrifice.
live or you die. That's it.
Wow, and they were all like happy.
life.
And like, we'll see you later today.
Yeah,
Have
like
fun
it
with
was
the
no big deal.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
After all, this is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Right.
And we're all dark.
Gotta rip
evil
your
people.
heart out while it's still beating in my hand.
Give my best to the tiger.
Right. Say hi for me.
I don't think she knew the tiger was going to be there. But if it
Let's
was
hope
if
not.
it was known that creature was out there,
Right. Why did you not take a
why
hunting
did you
party?
not
No
take
way.
a hunting party?
Yeah.
Even like in like Native American culture, they always hunted in pairs just to conserve their numbers. They didn't.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot of them. You
They
know,
also use
life was precious,
arrows.
so you take more than one. You know,
Right.
that's why it didn't even make sense.
to-
if
to
you're trying
have
if you're leaning into that Native American like lifestyle for this,
And yeah, like you said, a newborn is like sacred because it's
Yeah.
so difficult. There's so many complications in having a child. And then they're like, you'll be fine at the grocery store. What could go wrong?
yeah,
Right.
even the dad was like those outdated traditions, you know. And she's like, yeah, but what did we say? You said the spirits, the
Spirits,
Spirit,
ancestors, and
ancestors,
luck.
and
luck. Yeah, we
That's
had
the three
all-
tenets they live by.
Spirits, ancestors, and luck. And then the white-haired ancestor, Puff Flower, she's like, smack, smack.
Right. These are your ancestors.
I'm going to
They're
teach
dead.
you.
Right.
Let me
Right.
teach you all about allergies.
Yeah.
It was like a
These
walkabout,
giant pom
but
pom
like
hats.
when you're 1 year old with your mom.
Yeah.
It kind of defeats the purpose. It just didn't make a whole bunch of sense. It felt like the only thing they wanted to accomplish in this episode was to show that Ahsoka is a
Is
Jedi,
force sensitive.
is force sensitive for
Yeah.
the first time.
Bad
So they
to
only
the
thought
bone.
about, wouldn't it be cool if like there's an animal about to eat her,
Yeah.
and she uses the force to stop it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they thought that first, and then they like
And then the
didn't
rest
just
do a
came
good
after.
job getting
they
there.
forced it down.
You know, that's what it felt like.
They're like, okay, we got to do this in
We know
19
ending.
minutes.
This is our only idea.
Yeah.
It's got to go.
It's got to
Mm.
go. The deadline
Gotta
is
work.
tomorrow.
Which is kind of sad in some ways because, like, for how good of Ahsoka is, like, it's kind of that's
Didn't
that's
do
why
it
I would
justice.
say you could do without this
No.
episode. I think
Yeah.
there would have been cooler ways to introduce Ahsoka.
Honestly, you could have like put her in the Jedi Temple when she's a youngling.
Yeah,
That could have introduced her.
I think
That would've
season
made more
2 they're
sense,
gonna have
yeah.
like Plo Koon show up or like stuff like that.
Yeah.
which I think I think that.
Wait,
would've
what do you
been
mean
cooler
season 2?
of?
What do you mean they're gonna have Plo Koon show up?
Tales
Why
of the
would they
Jedi.
go back to that?
I don't know.
I don't think they're gonna do that. I think because they have two
They could.
characters in this season that they bounce back and forth with.
Oh, you?
I think that's what they're gonna do in the next season.
I think there's
It's just
multiple-
gonna be two random characters.
multiple characters.
If it was Plo Koon, that'd be cool.
I think
I
that's
want to
what-
see his
I don't
origin.
know.
I think that's what they
Plo
would have
Koon
done.
is,
No, I think
so-
that's what they should have done. Instead of like her birth and all that stuff, I think they should have just had Plo Koon
Yeah,
picking up
coming-
Ahsoka.
coming
that,
to get her.
That whole thing. Like or you show the scene where like she's a little like she's super young and the tiger's about to eat her and she uses the force and it goes away and they're all amazed and then Plo Koon shows up.
Yeah.
That would have been better to me instead of trying
Right.
to force this like Native American to Gruten thing. And
Gruten.
that didn't
The
make
Gruten.
sense. And female empowerment. It's like, okay, we didn't need all this in this show to know this. That's why it's it's kind of a throwaway to me in some
Yeah.
ways. The cinematography looks good, the pro's there, but other than that, there was really not a purpose other than we know already that Ahsoka's force sensitive.
As a
and
matter of
she's-
fact, the more we talk about it, we hate this episode.
Right.
Why are we
It's
talking
the worst
about it?
episode ever.
Season 1, we're talking the crap. Yeah, we're talking ourselves right out of it. We
I
liked
don't even
it,
want to watch the
now
rest of
we
the
hate
season.
it. So basically,
Too
don't
late.
watch the first episode of Tales
You're
of the
not
Jedi.
missing
That's-
much.
You're
honestly.
not.
That is the
Absolutely.
jurisdiction.
Loathe it.
Jurisdiction.
the coolest part is just seeing Ahsoka. Like,
Justification.
No.
the only reason people watch this episode is because Ahsoka.
Yeah.
That's it,
Yeah.
right? If
Yeah.
it was anything else, I would have been
don't
like,
know.
don't watch this. It's dumb.
Yeah,
It's like Dave Filoni's version of the Bible. In the beginning was Ahsoka.
right. You might as well watch
No, in
the
the beginning
Grogu yoga
Yakabiso!
thing.
Yakabiso!
Yakabiso! And you get that. Yeah.
Wait, say that again? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Totally
yeah.
missed
You wouldn't
out.
get Yakabiso.
So
All
we
right.
wouldn't get Yakabiso.
Well,
if
let's
we didn't
wrap
watch
up
it.
this spoiler talk.
Yo.
Yakamiso.
wrap it up.
Life and Death, Tales of
Well,
the Jedi.
consider
Episode
it
1.
wrapped.
Yeah.
All right. We
Wrapped.
thought it was
The worst episode.
the worst episode of the bunch.
It really
Ahsoka's
is.
in it. Nice. Other than that, garbage.
Yeah.
So let's rate it out of
6.
6.
6.
Yeah, because there's 6 episodes.
I'll give it a
This
1.
Seems odd.
You give it a Nick gives it a 1.
I
Seems kinda
will bump it
odd.
up to a 2 because of the ambience,
The ambiance.
which I will use, by the way.
Yes. Nick, I mean, Matt.
Nick.
What would you
Nick
rate it?
2.0.
He's younger. He's
Younger.
Matt. What did you?
Question?
What
was the question?
what would you rate this episode?
Oh man.
Since you haven't seen the rest of them, what would you rate it?
Still
1 out of
probably
6.
like a 0.5. No, I'm joking.
The only thing is it had hunting in it, which you like to hunt.
I
That's
mean,
true.
it was weird.
But it was not very good hunting.
It wasn't. We'll go with 2.
2.
Cool.
Dose. A new
All right.
Why is it up to a 2?
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you. Because he likes 2.
All
I had a little bit of action.
I'm gonna give it a 2 because it's a steaming pile of poop. A number 2, baby.
Wow.
No, it's not that
Well.
bad. It's just it's unnecessary. That's the
Yeah.
thing. It felt, like I said, it just felt like they wanted to
In the
show
grand
one-
scheme of things, it's
Trash.
Blip.
Oh.
You could have done without it,
Yeah.
or at least put it at like episode 3,
right.
and then immediately go from episode 3 to the last ones. I'm not gonna spoil the rest,
Yeah.
but once you see it, once we get there, we'll explain it. So, good, not great. No, actually, just bad for the most part. So,
No, actually, it's just bad.
all right.
It was
terrible.
subpar.
The best part about it was
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Wow, that was really wow.
Blurry.
it's a little
It's all
bit-
grainy.
It's a little
we're
grainy because it's
grainy.
blown up on the screen. GIFs are usually only this big.
Yeah,
So.
there we go.
Yes, cover Nick's face.
Yes.
This is
Nobody
what we
wants-
need to be selling.
nobody
This is
wants
what
to
we're going to
see
give
this.
away. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
what we're going to give
we
away.
Need to, we need to
Oh,
sell
We need to sell those
are-
gifts.
Them are like.
Them are dark.
Denmark.
I had a stroke.
He's stroked out
Again.
again.
He does that a lot.
All right. Well, that's been our hot take on
Yakamiso.
our take on
Dump on
Tales of the Jedi,
steaming.
episode 1, Life and Death.
And taxes.
And
Steaming
Texas.
pile
That
of
is not in the
All
title,
guaranteed.
but we're throwing it
All
in.
guaranteed.
All right.
You're gonna hate it. I guarantee it.
We've came, we've conquered, and we're gonna move on.
We came, we saw,
the
we
end.
conquered.
I
We
don't
came,
know.
we saw it. We didn't like it.
All right. Thanks for tuning in with us today. If you like what you saw here today, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies all about us. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate every single one of you. There will be Wookiee cookies in the future.
And blood.
Maybe.
Blood. The blood Wookiee. The bloodless cookies.
The bloodless. We got any meat? No, all we got is Pop Tarts. Meat Pop Tarts? No, cherry. That'll do. Name that movie. If
That-
somebody can name that movie,
is a-
I'd be very impressed.
Oh my goodness. That
That
a
is
deep
like-
cut, dude.
It's super deep.
Yeah.
I don't think these guys even know that.
I
one.
know it.
It was just us two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's just because you just said it's just you two.
So you know now.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was like,
I'm
what?
so confused.
I'm like, he couldn't have got it from that
He
much. I didn't get any. I didn't give anything away.
I'm trying to
just
think of a
hinted
movie that you
everything.
two have only seen that we haven't seen. That
It's-
you two
it's-
love.
It's from a while
lit-
but it's
ago,
probably
though.
from a long time
It's
ago.
super obscure too. Like
Yeah.
you
No,
wouldn't
it's,
guess
I don't
it in a
even think
million
you're going to
years.
guess it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know the title of it.
I do. It's up here in the old
I don't
It
brain
actually
vault.
doesn't exist.
But I know what the movie is.
It might not actually exist. It
It's
might
like
have been a fever
very
dream.
it's not even a main movie. It's like
No,
it's a fan
That's
film.
why I said it was obscure.
Yeah. It's,
Like you're never gonna guess the movie.
no, because it's like a fan film, basically.
Yeah.
Movie. How long is it? Is it
Sounds
actually?
trash.
Anyway, if you know what it is, it's hilarious.
If you know what it is,
especially
you're
that
my new
scene
best
is
friend.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Zeus
And
is in
also,
there.
if you get any of our references, we will send you a Wookiee cookie in the future.
They're not real, but you'll
don't-
get one.
Yes.
Don't
exactly.
bank on it, but it might happen.
It might happen.
It's better than Bitcoin.
You could actually take it to the bank, and the
You
bank
can
will
eat
owe
it.
you money.
It's worth negative.
Yeah, to the bank.
Wow.
Oh man, we got to get these off the street.
We're playing.
What just happened there? Did you just faint?
He stroked out.
He was just like, oh,
Again.
and then went right back. I was like,
It was a half laugh.
I was like,
half
what?
itching the side of my ear.
he was dabbing on him.
Straight to the dark.
Firepower.
All right, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
We're going to be back next week with some news, some more Tales of the Jedi, and
of the
anything else
Jedi.
that we want to talk about.
Jails of the Deadeye.
I think from now there's about 5 weeks until Bad Batch
Christmas?
season 2,
Yep.
Yeah.
and
Oh, is it
there
really?
And we have
is-
5 more episodes of Tales of the Jedi, which works out
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yep. I'm just looking it up here. If it'll show here, we got.
Cool.
Let's see. Bad Batch season 2 premieres January 4th. So that's about 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And then right after that, Mandalorian season 3 in February.
Yeah, I think they're coming out like they're still going to be parallel though. That's kind of crazy that Bad Batch and
I think there's like 12 episodes in Bad Batch season 2.
yeah, and that's going to be going while Mandalorian season
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good though.
3.
Oh, this
I mean,
says-
I'm
this
okay
is-
with that.
Episode
quality
count
episodes.
is 16. This is 16. But that might be from
16?
season 1. How many were in season 1?
Of Mandalorian or
Of Bad Batch.
About 12.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think
I don't
12.
Was
or-
it?
It's 12.
Is
yeah,
it?
I'm pretty sure it
Yeah.
was 12.
It's 12.
Fact checker!
I have
some
no
facts.
idea. And then right after that, it says 2023 is Ahsoka. So
Yeah.
they got a lot of good stuff
Well,
going
we got
on.
Skeleton Crew coming out too. That's
Yep,
a new
Skeleton
one.
Crew.
Yeah.
And they got Visions season 2 coming
Visions.
out.
Oh,
It's animated.
Vision.
Acolyte,
Acolyte.
Acolyte in
Vision.
23.
I can see
I heard some
stuff.
stuff about Acolyte. Oh man.
Problem is
Yeah.
they started filming Acolyte just now too. It's just November of 22. So these things are coming out in 23. They better get moving.
Yeah, they are.
Better bit cranky.
There's only 8
Better
episodes
be cranking.
of that. But the writer for John Watts, that sounds very familiar. I think he did like a Marvel movie. Like he might have done Iron Man or
No.
Mhm.
John
he's
Favreau.
writing Skeleton
Oh, you mean
Crew.
like 2 or
You,
3?
you don't know.
John Favreau did the original Iron Man,
Yeah, yeah, we knew that.
but
Yeah.
maybe he did 2 or
If you
Iron
did
Man
2,
2
I'm
Wait a
very
second.
concerned.
He
2
did,
was a
he
hit,
did
blink and
Spider-Man
miss.
No Way Home, Spider-Man
Wait,
Far
John
From
Watts
Home.
did?
Yes, that's John Watts.
Ooh. John.
he did No Way Home.
He did
John?
No Way Home. He did
I
all
am
the
looking
Spider-Mans
forward to
with,
this.
with
Yeah.
Peter Parker.
This is going to
with
be great.
the newest
solid
series.
movies.
I knew John Watts was a famous
Dude, he
writer.
did No Way Home.
Dude,
Yes.
you know it.
We
We've
answered
already
this already.
established.
produced. Yeah, he directed. He did No Way
That
Home.
is one of the best Marvel movies ever. Sony Marvel movies ever.
Yeah.
Honestly, in my opinion, I love Spider-Man, so that's part of why I'm doing it. So,
Spider-Man.
but that
He's
is
biased.
like a
Yeah.
gem.
Yeah, he did Homecoming, No Way Home, and Far From Home.
trying to
So
Home
John
Run.
Watts,
I don't know. You just seem really excited
jewel.
right now.
and he's got
A
Jude
diamond
Law.
in the rough.
It's a diamond in the rough.
Diamond
is
in
what?
the rough.
What?
Diamond in the
Diamond in the rough.
That's our new hit single coming out later this year.
Yeah, later this year.
Diamond in the rough.
Diamond in the rough.
And a Christmas song's coming out too, but that's Jude Law. That could be really, really good.
Wait, what's?
This is the news
Yeah,
portion that
okay.
we were going to do earlier.
Skeleton
Now we're doing
Crew.
it at the end.
I understand now.
It's
I'm
done.
back in reality.
No, it's good stuff.
To reality. Oop,
And we're out.
It's a live stream. We do whatever we want.
Most
Yo,
Midwestern song you've ever
you're
heard.
steering the ship.
Because he said, "Oh,
He's from Detroit.
No, yeah,
says Opala.
John, that's that crazy. That blew me away. I did not realize he did Spider-Man, and that was such a good movie that I have really high hopes for. What was he doing? Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew.
what was he doing?"
I thought you said an episode of Bad Batch
Oh
for
my
some
gosh.
reason. I was like,
No.
why is he doing that?
He's doing Esqueleto.
On a pot.
Esqueleto.
I stroked up.
Crew. Whoa! Wow, your face
You
looked
have
great.
the effects to go with
Yeah, just keep moving.
it. That's special effects right there.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
Vertical
actually a
blind.
hologram.
We purposely do that.
I'm a hologram. I'm not even here.
I'm
You're
a
not even here,
hologram.
man.
Right. See, check this out.
We can totally do that in post. We'll do it in post.
Fix it in post.
All right.
On that bombshell.
No, good show's coming up. I'm looking forward to it. No
Yeah.
They have talked about some
No.
movies coming out, but it's like
But we have no time.
I got
20
nothing.
25. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about that next week.
That's down the road.
So again, thanks for being here. We love you.
Yeah. Wookie cookies around.
Next week.
Next week,
Abound.
same time, same place,
Same face.
same faces.
Same
Maybe.
race. Same
Don't say that.
trace. Same grace. I'm just.
Rhyme, alliteration. That wasn't alliteration. That was rhyming.
Yeah. What are you talking
Music. We're gonna have Star Wars Christmas music.
about? You better
Right, Dan?
hope we do.
Yes, it's happening right now.
All right.
You hear those jingle
Lord.
bells jingling?
I think we're. What?
You hear them jingle bells?
I think we. What? He's like, what? What'd you say?
What's
You hear those jingle bells? What?
Why would you say that?
Oh my
You know I hate jingle bells.
Why would you say that name? What? Marva. Why would you say that name? Andor's the new Batman.
The only people enjoying this part of the show are the podcast lawnmower. listeners.
Save Marva.
It's like the Yes.
Why would you say that name?
Oh my goodness. This is just the bonus section of the
What?
episode.
If
Where
you subscribe
just
now,
die
you'll get all
laughing.
this bonus content.
Oh, it's good stuff, man. All right. I think we're gonna on a fresh of breath air. We're gonna
does it.
leave you.
Got him.
All right. We'll see you next week. Everybody at the same time. Come on,
Oh wait, that's what we're doing.
I don't know why.
I'm from
What?
jail.
Why would you do that?
What did you say? See you next week. See you next week.
Why would you say that name?